What time is it for you?
12 noon.
Oh.
Yeah. Say hi. Say hi. Hi.
Oh, Poppy. Hello.
This is Pixel.
Oh. I miss having a dog.
Yeah, this one is the best dog. He's so good. And smart too, huh? And beautiful, aren't you? Oh yeah, you just lay here the whole time, huh? Alright, go lay down. For 2 hours.
Leave me alone, please.
YouTube changing things on me again. Alright, hold on.
Leave me alone, please.
Oh boy. Why do they do this?
Oh boy, I hear doubling.
You're fine, we're fine. I just don't know how to get to the dang studio anymore. Where did they put it? Where's the live dashboard? Come on now. Ugh, I change something every week, I swear.
I have no clue with YouTube.
Dave, you're gonna like this audio on my side, I gotta tell ya.
I'm getting it too. It's a bit broken.
Like, my levels, they are looking nice.
Post on the Facebooks. I just don't know how to get my studio thing coming up on YouTube, yo.
I don't know what it is, but anything Google right now on my computer just takes forever to go to. YouTube, Gmail, anything just takes forever to get to. Everything else, every other website, fine.
Just change your DNS or something.
I don't know what that means. What? You want some tea? Alright, you can have some tea.
It wants food. Oh, lucky dog.
Speak. 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 Sit. Speak. Speak.
I really don't know how to get to my live dashboard. This is so stupid.
Speak.
You trying to get him to bark?
Alright,
Yeah.
well, at least bring your faces up so you guys can talk while I'm trying to figure out where in the freak is...
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Woof.
Where's the dang thing for
That
this?
cheese is
View and
really
live
good,
dashboard.
Dad.
They moved a little icon
That's our
over
voice.
here.
I don't know if you know that.
Now I got it. There's
God,
my
I
live
love
dashboard. I see all the people now. This is great. Alright. Swaroop first. Grant. Tokyo Megaplex. Billy. Test of the Rock. 531. Jason. All the people are here. You know why? Because it's like
Why?
almost Christmas and everybody's just chilling and not doing anything. Right? I mean, you're
Fair.
supposed
Like
to be
a
finishing them
super-
client projects, but...
It's
No, it's because
busy.
Jess is here.
Yay!
All right, let's make sure.
Oh boy, Dave, you just got quiet.
What?
You got quiet again.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hold on.
Now you're normal.
Oh, there we go.
Weird. That's so weird. Just touch the mic. Maybe it's a static issue.
Maybe.
All right. I'm gonna start recording.
I was already recording. Was I not supposed to be?
Oh yeah, go
Okay, I
go
was
ahead
too.
and
I'm just gonna go ahead and delete.
yeah,
that
hit
and start
stop and start over. It'll be
Oh, okay.
a lot.
No more.
Check check. Okay, I got a level. We're good
Recording
here.
now.
Dun dun dun
Boots and cats.
dun.
Cats, cats, and boots and cats. You're not a cat. You're a dog.
Ooh wee.
Yeah.
Man, we got so many people just contacting us about last minute holiday.
Oh really?
Yeah, like that one the
Good.
other
Send
day
them to
that
me.
just
I got nothing
hit
to
us
do.
back up.
I'm just working on
I
our.
did.
On our
Neither
holiday
one of us
card.
were in the office. They're like, "Are you available in the next
Well,
2
yeah, 'cause
hours
they're
on
like,
Friday
"Can you do
night?"
this in an hour?
Yeah,
No.
Friday night at 6. Can you do this in the next 2 hours? No, no, I cannot.
You both drank at the exact same time. You're in sync.
It's a secret drinking game nobody knows about.
Mhm.
Or is it?
We'll see if you can find out what you say in order to make us drink.
The drinking game is every time we drink, you drink.
I have my drink
Not
bottle here,
drink,
so.
you drink, we drink.
Yeah.
I put my drink upon your drink. When I drink, you drink,
When
we
I
drink.
You drink, we drink.
Mm.
That's good. Oh, this is gonna be a good show.
Should I save
already,
that
feel
one
it.
for outtakes? I'm gonna have to save that one. Okay, is everybody
Sure.
rolling now?
I'm rolling, yes.
Okay,
I
cool.
think so.
All right.
Oh, I'm recording. Is that what you mean? Yeah?
Yes. I'm
Yes.
going to do a count. We'll do 1, 2, 3, clap. Ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
All right, we're good to go. Just keep an eye on that
2
waveform. If you have any issues with the waveform, let me know.
I have it open right next to me so I can see it.
Cool.
I'm too paranoid to touch anything on my computer.
I know, right? I don't want to touch my microphone. Apparently, that messes mine up too. It's it's the winter time. There's static everywhere. All right,
Not now. Mine's sounding great. I'm feeling good about
your
this.
temporary new mic.
Not winter in Australia.
My temporary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
It's my first winter. Yeah.
I think we're good to go. Here we go.
You good?
Yep.
Jess, are you coming to Camp Mograph 2.0?
I was
Hell
starting
yeah.
the show, Matt.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
What's up, and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us today is one of my favorite people in the entire world, Miss Jessica Herrera.
Hello.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us, info@mograph.com, and let us know what you think about the show, questions, queries, concerns, grievances, comments, and holiday wishes.
Holiday wishes.
Holiday wishes. Don't forget about
All right.
next week. Well, I'm thinking about it. Don't forget about the holiday show next week, the
gonna be
23rd.
fun.
Yeah,
One of my favorites.
It'll be a
As long
call-in
as
show.
EJ shows up on time this time, it's going to be a great show.
no, that wasn't the holiday show last. That
was the 200th episode.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was more important than the holiday show.
Well,
That only comes around every 200 episodes.
he'll be here next week. We'll be sitting by the fire drinking scotch and wearing ugly
Word.
Christmas sweaters and things like that. So make sure you join us.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
What?
I was trying to think if I had an ugly Christmas sweater.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've got that Batman cardigan.
I mean,
That's awesome.
you could just wear a green shirt and be invisible. Yeah, something like
I will
that.
do that. Thank you.
So, been working on the crafts. I still have super glue all over me from working on crafts yesterday, and I was printing some 3D prints of some things, and so as I talked about probably, I don't know, a while back on the show, we are working on our classes that we're going to be launching, and so I have been vigorously editing Mark's Houdini course, and so in the
Man, I'm so
process,
excited about this.
I'm very, very close here, but in the process, I've been learning a lot about Houdini, including the use of VDBs a lot. Turning something into a VDB and then turning it back from a VDB into geometry. So I use this real world application. Although I use Cinema 4D for this, I was working on something in C4D and I was going to print it out on the 3D printer. Well, Cinema 4D is very forgiving when it comes to geometry or little imperfection or something. And I got this thing all set how I wanted it, and I brought it into the 3D program. And when I did that, it looked terrible. It just had all these little problems up at the top. There was an ornament I was working on, and the hole wasn't right. And I'm like, okay, I got to go into Cinema, and I got to fix all this garbage. And I get in there, and I'm thinking about Mark's course, and I'm like, what I could do is convert this to a VDB. So I converted it with the VDB mesher, or the VDB, the VDB tool, and then turn it back into a mesh, and it printed perfectly. It was great. So that is an awesome 3D print hack. If you're having trouble with something not looking right, just mesh it and turn it back to geo. Yeah.
And how did they come out? Are they beautiful?
Amazing. Yeah. So looks great. Did want to talk a little bit about Camp Mograph as well.
Camp
while Jess is
Mograph.
here. You going next year?
E.
Oh yeah.
In case you guys didn't hear, that was yee.
E.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. Matt, do you want to do the sponsor list?
Yeah, let's do the sponsor list.
Where are we
Hold
at on the
let me,
sponsor list for next year?
Bring it up.
Do we have the dates for
we
that
have
right
it
now?
Added, yes, it's October 8th through 11th in Portland, Oregon. Tickets go on sale April 20th, 2020. And now keep in mind that April 20th, the day that the tickets go on sale, I believe it's a Monday, and I believe it's also the week of NAB.
Yes, it is.
So just be aware, when you're doing that.
Yeah.
Getting ready. But big shout out to our sponsors as always. We've got our village sponsors. So any village you stay in, you'll be staying in one of these 3 sponsored villages. We've got the Maxon Village, the fine makers of Cinema 4D and Redshift. We've also got Video Co-Pilot, Andrew Kramer and team. We love them very much. And Octane Render, the makers of Octane Render. Who we use almost exclusively. And then super excited as one of our gold sponsors, Minimal Massive. They are a local Portland agency and creative company. They've got really, really awesome work. So make sure to check them out. If you want some more information, go to campmograph.com, subscribe to get updates and stuff like that. Check out some of the pictures of camp because this camp is going to be absolutely incredible. I'm very, very excited to see if anyone can climb that 3-story climbing wall. Dave
Not
thinks
me.
everyone will be able to do it, but
Me?
I don't. Yeah, or was it you?
No, I
don't
didn't.
know.
I wasn't talking about that.
I don't think anyone's gonna be able to do it.
I 100% know I can't do it. I cannot climb at all.
Yeah. No, I
These
don't think I would be able to do it.
They're tiny.
Yeah, but still, like because you're so tiny, I think you've got less weight in order to like carry up. Like I feel like if I was just a kid, I could probably do it.
I went to the
because
gym
I'm a
and-
fat old man. I can't.
I went to the gym and I did like 5 kilos and I was struggling. I was like, oh my God.
I don't know how much a kilo is.
See, when someone does,
Oh,
when someone
I know
goes to the
that's
gym here,
5,000 grams.
yeah, but when someone comes here to the gym in America and does 5 kilos, that means something else.
Ooh.
Ding.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
So let's well, okay, I only have one other thing. No, I've got 2 other things before we really get into it here. Don't have much for the show besides you and your whole background, Jess. But I did want to briefly talk about the new Mac Pro.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so this fully loaded
and the joke that you made that
man, I was so bummed. I wrote this joke and I had it in my notes, and then Grayscale Gorilla kind of took the joke on their
they
podcast.
Didn't take it. They also had the joke as well.
It was it was similar. It wasn't the same joke, but I was like, yeah, no, they showed the Mac Pro and it had the banana tape to it. And my joke was, how can the fully loaded one be $50,000 and be that expensive, because it's not like it's duct taped to a wall. Yeah,
Right.
that was my joke, and yeah,
Right.
now I can't use it. But the fully loaded version is $50,000 if you get a monitor and stand, and the $400 rolly wheels that go on it. It's $61,000. And so my question number 1 is why?
You know what? You could take that $400 and go buy yourself like a 2070 Super, and then you wouldn't be able to put in your Mac Pro.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, what is the reason for buying not just the Mac Pro, but the fully loaded $50,000 one? You've got one machine.
The thing is, okay, here's what I'm gonna say, because I'm actually I am a defender of the price tag for the Mac. All right, because I don't think like, yes, I understand $50,000 is a lot, but you're also paying a premium because it's the Mac OS. All right, all of us who have ever been on Mac have always known that we're going to pay a premium on a Mac.
That's
all right?
a
And the Mac Pro
pretty
has
high
never-
premium.
Yeah, but you also have to keep in mind, it's got 1.5 terabytes of RAM. I've never even seen that in real life. My computer has 48 gigs of RAM, and that's like the most I've ever had in a computer.
I'm not going to get all
Can you imagine?
Bill Gates in the 80s and say you'll never need that, but you don't need that.
1.5 terabytes of RAM, you could finally play After Effects. You know,
No, that'll
online.
no, that'll never happen.
Probably maxes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, people who are buying the super duper maxed out versions, they're not in our industry. You know, they're gonna buy maybe a bottom of the line Mac Pro, or like, you know, a slightly upped version, or they're just gonna build a PC. You know.
Yeah,
I've
but
never used a Mac.
you
Never?
really haven't ever
No.
used the Mac? I'm very surprised. I feel like wow.
Well, everyone
Wow.
here at Animate uses Mac except for three PC people, including myself. And I tried to use a Mac laptop the other day, and I was like, "How do I use this? Where's the like Windows? How do I find programs? Oh God."
That's interesting. So, well, when did you go to college for this? I know that's a weird question, but you know, some people don't.
Oh yeah, I went to, as in like
University.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
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 So were they all on PC? when you went there?
My classes were all PC because I was in the basement room, which was the weirdos kind of went down there.
What? You
It was-
weirdo? No.
Oh, no. Yeah, all we could see was people's feet. Like, we were in the basement, and yeah, no outside world. We were just like the super nerds that would use just, animating, I guess.
Uh-huh.
The rest of them were all design students, so they all had their own laptops, and they were all Apple, and they'd be
Gotcha.
like, "Ooh, look at my laptop," and I'd be like, "Look at mine. It's like 100 kilos, and it makes a lot of noise, but it
That's
works."
a lot of kilos.
That's a lot of coke.
Yeah.
The thing that Ryan Summers said, I wish I could find the exact quote, but he said something on Twitter to the effect of like, that's a lot of money you're paying just to have the Finder, or like the iOS or whatever, or the OS. To have column view, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And it's kind of true. But it started me thinking about this whole thing. It's like, okay, what is the reason that people would pay the $50,000? Let's try and figure this out. I want to break it down.
Deep learning. I think deep learning is like the biggest thing because you've got all that RAM, so you can do some serious computations or something. That's what I've heard. People are saying, "Oh yeah, it would be used for people who, want to do like AI or whatever stuff."
Okay, but I'm trying to figure out, why would you configure it up to $50,000? Like, okay, the RAM you could get somewhere else. You don't have to have Mac RAM. Okay. Is it editors? Is it video editing? Is that what it is? Because I'm just thinking, why would you?
Okay, sorry, Tokyo Megaplex, dude.
What?
Nobody's using Mac for deep learning. Sorry.
Yeah. The thing is, isn't deep learning coming from the graphics card anyway, from the GPU? So like,
I don't know.
aren't people putting all of these GPUs together for AI and all the things?
I know, for Bitcoin mining, it was all in the GPUs.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out what you would use it for. Is it only because people have to stick with Mac, or is there another reason? It's not just the loyalty. Is it something else? What would keep you from spending that money on like a ton of machines and a ton of like 2080s or something, or Titans, or Liam says all the Kubernetes. What is the
Kubernetes
reason?
Isn't the Kubernetes that's only NVIDIA?
All right, you can't get the Kubernetes on Mac, right?
I don't know. Big audio studios for sure, but it's such a marginal group though. If you don't get the NES, you're not deep learning. Okay, yeah, so you can't do that even.
Yeah,
with
but
the
you don't
AMD.
need a terabyte of RAM to do audio production.
1.5 terabytes of RAM. No,
or
you don't.
whatever it is.
We're doing audio production right now, and I've only got my 48 gigs.
Yeah, I guess I don't get that. There was also something that Billy responded to on that thread of Ryan's that I thought he put it really well, but I can't find the dang thread all of a sudden. But Billy's in the chat. Maybe he'll write what he wrote on there. But even people like Barton, we were texting with Barton, and he was like, "What are people going to use that for? Like, you have all that power, but it's still on one machine. You can't send it off to the farm because you don't have any money left for a farm."
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, and this is why I'm kind of a defender of this. If you're paying a premium for the Mac OS, that's fine. If you enjoy the Mac OS and you're gonna be paying a little bit more, that's fine, because the maxed out trash can Mac was something like $12,000. And what was the processor in that? It was like a 12 core or something like that.
It was a 12, yeah.
Yeah, you can get a 12 core Mac Pro. The same specs, I think, as the trash can for cheaper now than what you had. I think everyone's trying to compare it to, I don't know. Everyone's trying to compare it to PCs, and it's not the same thing, I bet you there will be plenty of people who like staying on a Mac platform who spend the $7,000 in order to get a 12-core Mac Pro, and then they're happy with it. And then as soon as you've got, Octane, Redshift, and all the other things working on AMD GPUs, then it's like, okay, your world's much more open. You can work on, you can work on a Mac Pro and do all these things too.
Well, like Tesla Rock says in the chat, yeah, like I get that, like more RAM, if you have like a ton of tracks and sound banks and all this stuff going on, you do hit a wall, but still, why wouldn't you use a PC instead? That's cheaper.
Some people like the Mac OS. Like I said, it's all about, like, if money were no issue to you, Dave, right now, would you buy one?
Actually, no.
If money was not an issue, I would buy 3 of them.
Well, maybe if I had one sitting around, but
one for me, one for you, and one for Jess.
But then when I was gonna,
we would be recording right now on these new Mac Pros.
But we wouldn't. You know why? Because our streaming software doesn't work on Mac.
That's true.
All of a sudden, all of the things that I'm using are not compatible with Mac anymore because I've switched back over.
Then you just find something else. It's the exact
they don't
same
have
thing
the
with
same...
moving from. This is the exact same argument we had when I was trying to convince you to move over to a PC full time.
Right,
like,
but here's the difference.
Mac,
here's the difference, though. Here's the difference with the.
You did a little bit of research and then you figured out what you could do in order to get it to work on PC.
Here's
right?
the difference.
And it would just be bad.
But here's the difference. Is that with the mass migration of people moving back, which we know it is, so many pros have just given up at this point. It is just like Apple not really caring about Pro because that's not where their customers are. The people who make the software know that that's not where the customers are either. I mean, that's the reason that you could download Steam for Mac, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to get Red Dead Redemption 2 on your Mac.
Right.
Because it's not compatible and they know that there's not an audience for it. So now it's the same problem that we had back in the day when I switched from PC to Mac, like in 2003. I can't find this piece of software for Mac. There's nothing that will replace it because nobody wants to make it anymore.
Right. I totally understand that. I'm sure there's something out there that you could find that could, work. But, it's if money is no issue, and you're getting a $5 million project from someone, and you're like, okay, well, we need a couple more Mac Pros. Let's just buy out the Max ones. $100,000 out of $5 million, project, whatever, no big deal. $7,000, even if you're getting the 12 cores, you buy 10 of those, $70,000. That's the price of one maxed out Mac Pro,
Well,
some people just like working on the Mac OS. Like, honestly, if it was $3,000 for that Mac Pro and it was a 12 core, I'd buy one. I'd work in it.
Yeah.
I'd go back to Mac.
It's actually a good question, Liam. Does it play Crysis?
Oh my gosh.
I would like to know if it plays Crysis. I mean, technically it doesn't play Crysis because it's not compatible. Right?
Right.
Is there a Mac version of Crysis?
I don't know.
Oh.
Boy, we've started a whole chat here.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's not that I don't understand. It's that I I'm baffled by the reasons. I'm baffled by as me, who was the ultimate Mac fanboy, who would never give up an Apple and finally gave up. I'm now just trying to wrap my brain around it.
You were converted to PC, you know, and then you realized the reasoning behind it. Now,
Right.
Okay, for me, okay, Jess, do you own a purse?
No, you know.
Okay.
Well, yeah, a coin purse. Yeah, actually.
My wife has a purse.
Well,
You know.
I'm lazy. I just kind of have my card in my bag.
All right. So, my wife has a purse. I told her, I said, hey, let me buy you. She always wants 2 things for Christmas, Uggs and a new purse. So I bought her Uggs, and I said, all right, tell me what you want for a new purse. So I started going online looking at Louis Vuitton purses because I'm like, I'm going to blow her mind. I'm going to buy a Louis Vuitton purse, right? And so I start looking online, and I was like, okay, these are really expensive, right?
Yeah.
And so I was looking at a little tiny clutch about this big that'll hold about 10 credit cards, and it was still $1,000. Right? But for some people, that having that $1,000 Louis Vuitton, you know, clutch is worth it to them.
So it's a status symbol and nothing more.
It's a status symbol, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it holds credit cards, so it has a use, you know.
Yeah.
Just give her a plastic bag like I use.
Oh, I bought her a Kate Spade $70 purse. It's all good.
She's not watching, is she?
She bought it and told me, "Oh, you
Oh,
bought
this
me
is my
for
Christmas present. Nice.
Yeah, and she's already busted out the Uggs. I got nothing for her to open on Christmas.
Oh.
Well, and Raphael is saying, you know, he still can't run Octane and Redshift on it. I guess it's not out yet, the versions for it. But I did see some reference that Joel's put on Facebook about you get like a year of Octane or something if you buy one.
That's interesting.
I need to go revisit that. We are going to have him on the show. He's just been out of town. We've been trying to work that out.
Yeah, he's been over in Europe. Saw all of his. Yeah, I saw he was in like France.
Yeah, he was in France. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know the answer. It's baffling to me. I would like to talk to somebody who bought the $50,000 version and say, hey, you know, I'm on a Facebook group that is all about Mac Pros, and they restore the old Mac Pro cheese graters and these old ones, and it's really funny to see what people are saying in there, because even people in there are like, I don't get it, I can't justify it, and now all the people that don't want to spend the money are going back to the trash cans, they're going back to the cheese graters, and they're modifying those like they have been, you know? And this is Barton's biggest point, and this is the big deal to me. How long did it take for them to come out with a new Mac Pro from the last one?
Right.
How long did it take before that for them to get one? If you buy one of these now, it's not really upgradable. So how long is it going to take you to grab this brand new Mac Pro, and then you're like, man, I really wish I could upgrade to this new technology. I mean, think how fast technology is changing and getting better and doubling. You're going to be sitting with that thing for at least the next 10, 15 years, your $50,000 investment. You know, it costs more than a Cybertruck. I think that's something, I think Billy said that. Yeah. So.
Tell you what, don't buy a Mac Pro, maxed out Mac Pro. Just give me the money and I'll pay off almost all my student loans.
Oh, yeah. That sounds good.
Or me.
Almost all my student loans.
See, the thing for me, okay, because it's like, okay, well, then you don't have to upgrade your Mac for a while because it's so good. But then what happens when somebody comes out with a new video card?
But I don't think it is that good. Like, from what I hear, I'm pretty sure the CPUs that they're using are like older CPUs, aren't they? Am I wrong here?
They're using what are they using again? Xeon,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and those are more expensive, right? Yeah, it sounds fast. Yeah. I saw a video online where they did an unboxing, and I gotta say, it is super, super pretty. They take the case off of it.
Was that the one where they actually grated the cheese on it too?
Yes, they grated cheese on it. I'm like, come on, guys, really? You got this brand new Mac Pro, and it's super expensive, and you're actually gonna grate cheese on it? Could you at least pretend you're You're doing it instead of actually. Then you got to clean cheese out of your brand new. You got to clean cheese out of your brand new Mac. What are you doing?
Maybe they were just borrowing it, and then they just thought, oh,
That's
it'd be
even
funny if
worse.
they
They're
get
like,
it
we're
back
gonna
with
return
cheese in it.
this.
That's even worse. Oh my gosh.
It's not used, guys. I swear, it's not used.
Wow. It is pretty inside, but when I look at it, the first thing I think of, though, is the difference in cars back in the day, 50s, 60s, 70s, and the cars you see today. What happens when you open up the hood of, like, a BMW? It's like there's nothing underneath except a perfectly sealed engine where you can't even see any parts, And it's like, you want to work on something? Too bad. You don't even see any wires. It's just super, like, sealed off. It looks like everything is sealed inside another canister, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I wish I had a good explanation. I haven't gotten a good explanation. Anyway, why don't we talk about Ravcock? What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
I wanted to talk about Arnold GPU for a minute.
Yeah. I just downloaded the trial. I was giving it a try. I like it. It's way faster than old CPU Arnold.
Do they have it for C4D?
Yeah.
They
R21.
do?
Just downloaded it. I was playing with it before the show.
Okay. Why did I
was doing tests. I was doing tests with like testing the speed between Octane and Arnold.
Mhm.
I can't claim anything right now. Octane won specifically because it was only a cube on a plane.
Well, that's not really
if
a
you're
good...
only doing a cube on a plane, Octane is 2.5 times faster than
That is
Arnold
a
GPU.
terrible way to compare it. Yeah.
Right.
So, okay. All right. Do you think that it's worth switching for, first of all?
Completely?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think here's the thing. Here's why we will purchase Arnold GPU. And I feel like I'm having to sell you on this, Dave. Like I've been.
You keep saying that you're trying to sell me on it, but I haven't been opposed to it.
Okay, cool.
The only thing I said is let's
Billy,
make sure we have enough money.
I do have an RTX GPU. The thing is, I have an RTX. I've got a 2080 and I've got a 980 Ti. So maybe the 980 Ti is borking it somehow, Anyway, but the what was I saying? So I like the quote unquote unbiased nature of Octane. I think it produces a super photorealistic image. I don't like Redshift so much because of the biased nature of it, and I like Arnold because it's very similar. It's similar to Octane in the fact that it's like quote unquote unbiased, right? And so Arnold and Octane produce much prettier, more photorealistic, photorealistic looking images right off the bat, So for me, what happens to me is I'll start working on a scene in Octane, and if it starts getting like really intense with a lot of lights and stuff like that, I need path tracing. I'm just okay. I'm done. I'm gonna have to. I would then move over to Redshift. But then I kind of struggle with some of the more photorealistic looking stuff. Having to really mess with that in order to make it look the same as my Octane render. But if I can easily just switch over to Arnold, which kind of has a similar quote unquote look, whatever, I would do that.
So you're saying use both, use the right one for the job, which is we've said before.
Yes, absolutely. But the thing is, for me, like this is all everyone's own personal, render engine of choice. I started out in standard, I moved over to V-Ray, I found Octane, and I've been on Octane. It's always the first one that I reach to, but sometimes it gets to the point where I need to reach for something else, or I'll know that ahead of time, but Octane's always the first one that I reach to. Especially when I'm creating just a cube on a plane.
Oh my gosh.
Very creative.
Terrible. The cube rendered faster. I have seen some comparisons between Arnold and Octane and Redshift online recently that people are doing, comparing them, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, you can see in the corner there's a little speck here and whatever," but it's like, okay, I mean, just in general, there's not much difference between any of them. They're all looking pretty much the same in these renders, you know. I did not realize that you know the thing that with Indigo render, with the camera thing that gosh, why is my mind blank?
I know what you're
the
saying.
camera thing. What's
Right.
the thing?
The thing. The camera thing.
The camera thing, where you can do the Jeremy Cox, where you can do a pinhole.
I just wanted to see how long I could wait before you actually
the pinhole camera thing
Yeah.
that he did with it. Well, somebody did that in Octane the other day too. You know, I'd be interested to see, can you do that with all the other ones? You know,
Tokyo Megaplex
What?
and Indigo render. Did someone say Indigo?
Yeah.
He loves Indigo render.
Oh, does he?
yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Why Indigo?
He just does. I don't know. He's been Metropolis Light Transport. I don't know.
Is that a Superman thing? It's a company in the Superman universe.
Oh man, no. Metropolis is the city that they're in, dude.
I know, and it's a company that transports
okay.
lights.
Yeah. That's the power company.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. So I guess the main question is going to be buy a copy or not. I think it'd be good to buy a copy. I really want to get into
Of
it.
Arnold?
Really want
Yeah,
to try
totally.
it. Yeah. And the thing is, you can go CPU or GPU. That's kind of the thing right now. You go GPU while you're building.
That is also another thing.
You switch to CPU when you're done, and then you send it off to the farm, right?
Yep.
I want to mess with that.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah.
In theory.
All right. Well, Jess, let's talk about you.
I have a Octane
Oh,
pin.
snap.
Oh, nice.
There you go. That's nice. Where'd you get that one?
Where'd you get that? I want one.
Yeah.
Mograph.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man,
I went
wanna
over
get
to
one
the
of those.
booth.
Oh,
Schmoozed my way to get one. Woo!
I just got a T-shirt.
Oh,
It's a
I
very
didn't get one.
comfortable T-shirt.
Man,
And I mean, I have a hoodie.
I want one. So, let's talk about, first of all, your background. We know that you went to college in a basement.
Yeah.
And so where was this? What were you doing? And was it helpful to you?
I remember you guys having chats about university degrees. So I went to a university in Melbourne, Australia. I don't want to say it was a bad course or anything, but I found my course kind of crappy, and I
don't want to say it was bad, but it was crap.
For me personally, it was good because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and in my first year I realized what I didn't want to do. But then the rest of my course was just like, what am I doing here? I didn't really learn anything in class. I did everything like 3D. I pretty much self-taught because I almost failed my first 3D class because I had no idea what I was doing. And it looked really bad. I still kept that render. It's on my Facebook, so I remember how
Is it
far.
really?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Can I bring it up?
Friends on Facebook? I don't know if we're friends
Maybe.
on Facebook.
Maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
Oh, man.
It's a horrible picture of some chess pieces, and I accidentally beveled every single face on each other and couldn't subdivide it, and I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, why does this look wrong? It had 100 lights in it as well. It was awful. I really didn't know.
lights?
Yeah.
When was
It
this?
was this was
I mean, I'm not searching
about-
your Facebook.
Right.
it was a bit, well, I've got my phone right here. I can tell you exactly.
Are we talking
It was a
Yeah.
I think it would be in mobile uploads. Maybe I've hidden it to people. I'm like, no one should see this.
That's fine.
It's good to look at your old stuff, though. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Well, I kept it there so then I remember how far I've gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's really bad. How did I find my photos?
Oh, no.
You should redo that exact same render
Yeah.
now,
Yeah, you should.
knowing what you know.
It might still come out shit. I
Oh,
don't know.
I found it. I found it.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
from 2012. Can I bring it up?
Yeah, do it. Just do it. I
Okay.
showed it at NodeFest anyway, so everyone knows.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, nice. That's not bad.
No, it's terrible. I
No,
remember
that's not bad for your first render.
the very back part where there's like a light you can see on the like the back projection. It's like a square. I didn't do that with just one light. I couldn't work out how to do that. There's like 50 lights in a square pattern. I even remember doing that, going, "Oh, this is really slow to render this one frame."
That's
going, "Oh
funny.
God." Yeah.
The segments
No,
here.
I
I love these
was-
segments.
Right.
Yeah.
I love
The
segments,
segmenting.
yeah.
You can see some like fuzziness because some of the polygons are like on top of each other.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
that's
just
great.
cringy. Oh.
That is
That was my
awesome.
first attempt.
And the rings.
It's not
And
bad
That's
for your
awesome.
first render. I'm sure my first render looked way worse.
It was fun. But actually, no, I lie. I hated that class. So
Was that just like a standard Maya class?
yeah, it was like learn basics of Maya, and then we did everything in like 12 weeks. It was like first week was like box modeling, and then second
Mhm.
week was like using a. Do you say lathe or lathe?
A lathe.
Lathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to say lathe. I didn't know that was wrong.
There's a lot of things like that in 3D that are like words you only read and don't, you know,
Fresnel.
a Fresnel.
Yeah, I thought it was
Fresnel.
Fresnel.
Yeah.
It is
it
for
Fresnel?
now.
It is for now.
It is for now.
It is for now. What
I'm
are
just,
some
like,
other things?
questioning my whole entire life.
What's the
Yeah.
oh man, I had it. Well, there's another one that's like the fillet.
Fillet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fillet.
Do
Fillet.
you fillet or do you fillet it?
Fillet caps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the at McDonald's, I used to
Fillet
work at McDonald's.
of
It was
fish by
fillet of
Ronald.
fish.
Fillet of
Fillet of
fish.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, people say, "Oh, can I have a fillet of fish?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Wind?
"Okay."
What's wind? Oh, it's wind. I've never heard it said aloud.
It's funny.
Oh God. Some people
So-
over here don't even know what I say sometimes. Like I was like, "Oh, let's all go have a beer today," and they're like, "A what?" And I'm like, "A beer.
A
Let's
beer.
have a beer." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "A beer."
Beer.
Beer. Coffee. Beer.
Yeah.
So tell us about your journey. Tell us about
Okay,
how
yeah,
you got
so
into
that-
what you're
that class
doing now.
sucked.
We want to know.
So how do you go
Yeah.
from being in a class that you absolutely hated
And the chess piece.
to being like you must have really enjoyed 3D in order to keep with it?
Yeah. How did you keep
Well,
going?
So I have a problem with failing. So it was like I didn't like getting such a bad score, and I knew that if I wanted to be good at like computers, because I was terrible at computers, I needed to like get over this like hurdle. Because I like in my first year I did a bit of coding, a bit of web design, industrial design, yeah, visual communication, bit of After Effects, film
Mhm.
technology. Oh God, everything. And then, because I was going so well in my first year, I was like, "Hey, I'm so good at everything, woo!" And then I got to this one class, I was like, "Oh no!" And then I was like, "Nah, screw this. I'm gonna spend like a couple of months trying to teach myself how to do it."
So you did this as kind of like a FU to the teacher
Yeah.
to prove that
Who knows?
See,
He
I
might
think-
see
I
this
think-
video and go, "Oh God, she's talking about me."
maybe you're like the ideal student though.
Well,
like,
it's
the one who
Maybe.
realizes that it just was not good enough, so they push themselves to be the best version of themselves they can be.
or I don't know.
Or you're just a masochist and you really like, I don't know.
I like torturing myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, my second thing that I made was a bit more fun because I decided I liked characters because I used to draw a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, I'm going to make a dinosaur, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a Herrerasaurus from
Mm-hmm.
like start to finish and rigged it, animated it, and then like rendered it in V-Ray. And then,
It's taken a while.
yeah. I think well, I did it over summer, well, like winter for you guys,
Uh-huh.
break. So it was like 3 months. And then I came back into class and I was just like, okay, I'm ready for this because the next class that I had in 3D was character modeling. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I can do this. Yes. And then, like did the model in, I think I did it really early because I stupidly booked a holiday to Europe
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 weeks before the end of semester because I'm really bad with dates. And I was like, well, I've got to get everything done before then. So I quickly smashed that out and then got like, I think it was like 99%. I lost 1% because my PDF had too many pages or something.
Oh my
I can't
gosh.
remember what it was.
Stupid.
Had nothing to do
Wow.
with my 3D model either. I was like, oh, come on, dude. But then after that, I was like, I like 3D. And then from those two, because I did the Herrerasaurus and then I did another dinosaur looking like fish thing
Mm-hmm.
for that class. And from those, I managed to get an internship. So that was how I got my foot in the door.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for those 3D models.
Just after like 3 classes, you got an internship?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I was really determined to get into a job because I knew it was hard in Australia, especially as a student.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care what the job was, and it was actually the job wasn't for me. It was in the Australian military, and
Awesome.
I was like dressed like this,
Yeah.
and everyone's in like suits, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to model today? They're like, oh, we're not going to tell you, but you have to sign this contract.
Top secret.
And
That's
yeah,
funny.
it's like 25 years I can't talk about what I worked on. So
It's guns, bombs.
Yeah.
They all have
You're like,
eyeballs, and
you don't have me modeling dinosaurs anymore.
that'd be really
I secretly
funny.
like put little eyes on everything.
Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of like
All the tanks
military
have big
jets. Yeah,
Wobbly eyes. Googly eyes.
Oh, be scared, be scared.
they're like, this isn't what the design was supposed to be. I know, but it's more
An
fun.
extra fun.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that was fun. I lasted there 6 months before I was like, oh, this isn't for me, guys. And then I started looking for another job about, I think, like a month before I left because I knew I wanted to leave. And then I managed to get another job. And that was literally the week after I finished the other one, I went straight into the other job,
That's awesome.
which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And that was much more enjoyable. But I had to use 3ds Max.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I had to learn how to use that. But that was really good because then I ended up, after that job, I went into another job that also used 3ds Max
Mm-hmm.
and V-Ray. And then I was there for 8 months before I realized I didn't like working with scientists, astrophysics guys, because they, one, don't understand any humor whatsoever. Two, they could never like explain something really simple for me. I was like, I do not know what the mass of blah 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 is, and I can't put those kind of numbers in this program. It was just like a bit too like for me. And
How was that again? A bit too what?
That's the mind blown emoji.
Right.
Yeah. Literally, I was learning about like black matter, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And my boss was like, actually, my boss is kind of semi-famous. He was like he was my second boss, and then I had the dean on top because this was at my university that I was working at, and the dean was the guy that would tell me what to do, and then my boss would kind of, when he was there, when he wasn't like traveling, he would like be like, oh yeah, this is in lay terms what he means. And then he was like drawing a piece of paper about this thing that they were making in the middle of Australia in the ground, and it was talking about like trying to see like invisible matter that actually can like communicate with each other or something. I don't know. It was like crazy, and it was for
like the
like
Star Trek Mycelium Network from Discovery. All right, never mind.
I have been on the Discovery Channel once when I was on holidays, so.
See,
no,
that's
I
close.
was referencing the new Star Trek series.
Nobody watches that.
Yeah, never mind. That was a big nerd. Yeah, all right. Nerd test right there. You all failed.
I'm sorry.
I passed with flying colors.
I haven't even watched like half of the Star Wars movies, so.
That's okay. Which ones have you watched?
The extremely original one.
Okay. Then you're fine.
What
Just
about
stay there.
What about Mandalorian?
Oh, I have been watching that actually.
Okay.
I've been enjoying it. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm just watching it for Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
I think most people are right now.
Like,
I've enjoyed
move
the
the
first
story
two episodes.
along.
Everything else is just like, come on, yo.
Move
You
the
guys don't want to
story
be in
along.
with the emotions. It's all the emotion.
But every episode is the same. He shows up somewhere with Baby Yoda, and then something happens, and then Baby Yoda's in danger. You don't know who any of the characters are or what's going on because they're different in every single episode. And you're like, is this going to be a character that sticks and ends up being in every episode? No. There's no main characters. There's just him and Yoda. And then by the end, somehow Yoda saves the day. Baby Yoda manages to help save the day. And then they leave. And then the next episode, they're on another planet. Is that all that we're going to get?
Yeah.
It's like The Simpsons.
The Simpsons?
Yeah, because every episode, it goes back to normal.
Yeah, but
that's sitcoms in general, right?
Yeah. This is true. That was the first thing that came to my head.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. So, question from Tokyo Megaplex. How often, if ever, do you get the chance to do figure drawing? I find it super difficult to make time, but find it super important for sculpting / character work.
I used to do a lot of like, you go and see the nude person like posing, and then you draw them. I used to do that back in Australia, but over here I haven't done that. But there's like heaps of like websites that you can like do like 30-second sketches, and you like it's got like a photo, and then you can like go to the next one. Yeah, I remember when I was actually working at the university with the astrophysics guys, my absent boss, who used to be my boss, he was only there for a month. He was like really intent on, like, he was teaching me how to, like, everything about 3D that wasn't actually 3D. So he taught me how an actual camera works, or how a real light rig works, and how, like, all the lighting is calculated in V-Ray and all that kind of stuff. But then he also talked about drawing and perspective, and he would give me homework, and I was like, I'm not at university. But it was actually really handy, because he first told me, he's like, you draw really flat. If you're going to be a good 3D artist, you have to think about perspective. And then I actually started thinking about it. I was like, oh my God, he's like just like opened my mind up. I didn't know. But yeah, figure drawing. Most of my characters don't really have human proportions, so yeah, I can do whatever I want. The guy's got a huge head. That's not normal, but
yeah, but you have that artistic background though, and that's so helpful. You know, a lot of people who go to school, they're trying to do all of that, you know, and they don't already have that. You went into it having that a little bit. And Tokyo Megaplex also said, what was the other question? Oh, any chance you might go to Pictoplasma? Have you spoken or attended?
I'm going this year.
Nice.
I mean, next year. I didn't get to go this year because I had too many days off.
There's too many conferences to go to.
Berlin.
That's why. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I think there's one in New York as well, but I'm going to the Berlin one. I have a few friends like talking there, and I am not talking there. No, I don't think they really know who I am, but I'm very excited to attend. Apparently big parties and all the Mograph friends and all the character work. Yeah. and Berlin.
You making it to NAB this year?
Oh, well, I don't know.
That would be super fun.
Got to get all that freelance work in first, right?
Yeah. Firstly, I need some money.
It's a good start.
And then maybe I can consider coming over.
Yeah.
I do like America, and I want to explore a bit more. I had a lot of fun at SIGGRAPH and Mograph, your camp, so that was fun.
Mograph.
Yeah.
What do you want?
You didn't get to explore much at Camp Mograph.
Right.
Oh, I don't know. Actually,
Well,
you had the fun bus ride down from Montreal.
Oh, jeez.
It was very pretty.
Yeah.
And the car ride with like 4 or 5 people from different countries with different passports.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Didn't you get in a little trouble?
Well, I was expecting the worst, like coming back, going there, like coming
because
into...
getting here they made you pay money, right?
Oh my god, yeah. And I spoke to so many people, and they're like, I didn't have to pay, and I was like, why did I have to pay?
So what happened exactly?
There was only like 5 people on this huge bus, and they were all Americans, so they all got through like super quickly. But then they took me to this like tiny room and like sat me in there for a while before this lady came out, and then took me to another room, and then she was like asking me questions like, have you like, where are you going, and all the normal stuff. But then she was asking me, your last name, is that Latino? And then I think because of that, she was like super confused because I was Australian, but then I was trying to cross the border.
Right, because Australians can't have Latino last names.
No, it's impossible.
Yeah, I was like, what? And then she was unconvinced that I hadn't left America since I went to SIGGRAPH, but then I was able to prove that I was in another country because I went to Spain like 3 weeks prior, and I had a stamp. I was like, no one stamps passports anymore, so God, lucky I had a stamp there. But yeah, then she made me pay $6, and I was like, oh God. And then I was like freaking out because I had no money, and then I was like, oh wait, no, I have a tenner. So then I was like, here you go. And then I probably paid for a lunch. I don't know.
So you were an Australian who lives in the UK, Australian passport, in Canada, trying to get to the US.
Yes.
That's a little, with a Latino last name.
Sage said he had to pay as well. Why do you have to pay?
Oh, really?
Why? I don't understand the payment. Like $6? That doesn't make sense.
It's the not go to jail tax, not go to Gitmo tax.
Oh, I don't know. And then they told me on the way back that they had to take this piece of paper out of my passport, but the guy just looked at my passport and it was like, eh. I was like, you don't want the paper? No? Oh, God. So let's see what happens when I come back into the country. They're going to be like,
yeah.
Did you ever leave?
But you were with Phil, who had a UK passport.
Yeah.
And he was in America going... this is going back, right? Going to Canada, and then little Ryan, he was an American going to Canada to fly to California.
Right.
Then you had Noseman, who lives in Canada but was coming from the U.S. but had a Greek passport. Everybody had a different passport.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Patrick, who was Canadian.
Yeah.
It was a full packed back of the car, and we had other things in the back too, like the big stick and.
The big stick, the walking stick.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty, but it was very annoying, and I was right in the middle, and I was like holding, I think it was like a container, and then I had someone's backpack in the container.
Gosh.
So yeah, 2 hours like that. It was great fun. My legs went to sleep, but. That was fun.
Well, we're glad you could make it to camp.
Yeah, seriously.
This next one won't be so bad.
Where else do you want to go in the U.S.?
Oh, I really want to go to New York. I think it's magical. And then I just want to like visit people because everyone knows cool things to do in their towns. So then if I go visit people, I'm like, yeah, what's cool to do here? And then they'll be like, oh, let's go like hiking, and then let's go have a drink. Or I just like traveling a lot. I expect to travel a lot this year, so yeah, gotta travel.
Just make it out to Denver.
Yeah, I thought that
Dallas is not, but Denver's
camp was
cool.
supposed to be there.
It was originally, but we were getting some weird vibes with the camp director and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we're like, I don't know, maybe let's look around. And then we found this place in Portland, and it's like, okay, that's where we're going.
It was really far
if we
too.
could, yeah, and that was the number one thing, because you saw us having to drive back and forth from the airport to camp, the airport to camp, the airport to camp, airport.
It was 45 minutes.
It was one way. It was 45 minutes one way.
It was an hour and a
So
half in Denver.
An hour and a half out of your day, just one person driving. So, but this new one is only 25, 30 minutes from the camp. So,
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so cool.
So what are you doing now? What's like moving forward? What are you working on right now?
So this is my last week at Animade. So I'm just fixing up
freelance life.
Yeah. I'm going away over Christmas, and then in the new year I'm gonna start afresh, see what happens. Apparently it's good fun to freelance in London, so let's see what happens. But yeah, I'm trying to set up everything before I leave Animade, because there's no more 3D people left here. That was the last one. Yeah.
Wow. Was everyone just like they just, I don't know, was there not a lot of 3D work there?
No, not really, but Ricard and I were the only people here this year. Last year I think there was 2 more. Not really sure of the time frame, but Ricard left about 2 months ago, and he's also freelancing. He said he loves life. And so now I'm going to join him.
That's cool.
Let's see what happens. But there's heaps of new people starting at Animade, so they won't miss me.
That's funny.
So when you're creating,
I was gonna say the 3D character stuff, like, it's specialized. Not a lot of people do it and do it well like you do. So I think you'll be very successful.
I hope so. I hope I don't let anyone down. It's my biggest fear. It's not so much like not getting work, it's like doing a bad job.
Well, that's good. That's a really good like mentality to have.
Don't like failing, guys. Don't like failing.
Yeah.
Now, in some of your work, like on your site, which is Herrerasaurus.work, which we should probably spell out, HERRERASAURUS.work. That's difficult. I'm looking.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Some of your work, like I wanted to ask you some questions about, like, because your character stuff, when we were at camp, you were really good with clay modeling. You made the plant, which you
and pipe cleaners, surprisingly.
And pipe cleaners. the plant that you made with the butt.
Yeah.
There was something else on it too if you turned it around, but that wasn't on the Instagram post. Because you'll get banned, right?
Bee.
And the twerking bee.
Yeah.
You had that. You drew some stuff on the whiteboard while we were there. You remember the little character? Like, you just all these areas. So it's really cool because you can see that you're applying that into 3D. So, like on your site, for example, you've got this first one here with it's your show reel, but the thumb for it is a character with the computer on fire and all of that. It has this clay look to it. And I want to know more about that clay look and how you go about doing that. Like, are you going all texture on that? Are you doing a lot of like shaping with the geometry?
It's a bit of both, actually. Yeah, I've got a displacer on the model. I think I haven't actually uploaded it yet. It's on my Vimeo, but I did a breakdown of the dinosaur walking, and it's just clean geometry, and then I put a displacer to kind of give it slight bump, and then I've got 3 different like textures overlaid on each other to give that the fingerprints. I've got like a displacer kind of wobbly thing, and then a little noise just to give it some grit. But yeah, apart from that, it was a quick turnaround as well, because I made that character for my slides for NodeFest. And so I had to have a lot of them because every slide had this character. And so I only spent maybe 3 days like doing the model. So it was like I drew a really crappy sketch of it and I was like, that's good enough. And then created it in a day and then rigged it over 2 days and then started animating. Originally, I wanted to animate them all, but I didn't get time. That was just ridiculous.
As somebody who dabbles with characters every once in a while, as you know, you saw the hippo because you helped me convert that hippo from Maya to Cinema 4D, and I had such a hard time with so many things on it, and the waiting and all of that, and it's like I have frustrations because sometimes I just can't get it to do what I want it to do. It's like I'm trying to wait it, things aren't working right. Do you get frustration like that, or does that eventually go away as a character person?
Oh man, well, so coming from Maya, going into cinema this year, like I find the waiting progress in Cinema 4D is a little bit tiresome, only because like if you want to paint something, it automatically is going to assign the weight to another joint. But in Maya, you can actually like either cull that out, or you can use like you can go to 0 on some points, which in Cinema 4D it won't let you have 0, otherwise it freaks out. It's like, but sometimes I like to like start the character off with 0 weights and then paint them on myself, but you can't do that in Cinema 4D, which kind of freaks me out. But my tip is like once you've like painted something, lock it and then go to the next part. And then if you want your weight to go on to another one, just like lock everything except for the 2 weights and it'll go to the other one. It's the only tip that I can say. But yeah, it is kind of tiresome. I think like I was working on like a pro bono job here at Animate, and I've had to rig a whole like uterus. It's a character uterus for periods, and
it's a period piece.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. I like it.
It is. I could not flip the weights on the hands, which are the little ovaries, little hand ovaries. But they wouldn't flip, and so I had to redo the whole other hand, and I was so pissed off. Oh, the hands are the worst part too. Like it had very chunky fingers and like overlap in the middle, and then you're just like
an ovary does, you know.
Yeah.
Chunky.
Oh gosh. Do you use Mixamo? First of all, I guess. I know of people. So at one of my first full-time jobs out of uni, I had to use it a couple of times, but I used to get really pissed off at not so much the weighting, because I can easily fix that, but the actual rig not having IK. But I think now with R20, what is it, 22 now? 21, sorry, too far ahead. Yeah. I'm still at R20, so I think that one has, like, you can change, like, it comes in with the IK rig. That was the main thing that annoyed the hell out of me. I had to put my own in. But most of the time that was only on really, really fast-paced jobs, like saying like 2 or 3 days. And so I'd one day model a full-on character, next day texture UV map it, and then the next day after that, like put it in Mixamo and make sure everything worked. So those kind of projects were worse, but not the best quality work. They're not on my show reel, that's for sure, but yeah. See, that hippo I was working on, and Matt was trying to help me with this too. It's like the problem with Mixamo is you'll bring something in and it's like, okay, set where the crotch is, set where the knee is, and on weird characters that are different, like this hippo, it's like I don't know where to put that. I don't know where to put it. Like, I'm sure there's a point that you could put that to where it works better. The other thing I don't like about it is like you bring stuff like that in, and then you want to bring it in again later, and it's not going to be exactly. You could bring the thing into Mixamo 10 times, and you're going to get a different result. every time.
You can copy the weights over if you have the same model. So if you have two rigs.
Yeah,
but then again, yeah, are they in the different places? I don't know.
I had problems with that too. I was trying to copy weights, you know, because you can save weights and load weights and all that. I was having the worst time. Matt was trying to help me, but really what it came down to is, for me, I had to come up with a character that I could actually just export. Because if you export the rigging with it, it'll bring it in and it won't ask you those questions. But I had to get it to a point where it would come in, it would do a different dance good enough, you know, and then bring it back. And even in the end, luckily I was putting a skirt on this hippo. So in the end, all the garbage geometry that was going in the crotchal region was able to be covered up by this skirt, you know. It's just, it was so maddening. I'm like, there has got to be an easier way to make this jive.
That's the new lipstick on a pig. Putting a skirt on a hippo.
Skirt on a hippo. Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, it's got to have some decency as well, so.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have a Donald Duck
you
situation.
You never know what's under the pants.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Hippo skirts. So I also wanted to ask you about, like, some of the other things on the site. You've got some stuff that looks 2D. Do you do 3D? Do you do a lot of 3D for 2D, or do you prefer to, when you're doing 2D, to just to do it in 2D?
Well, at Animate, I've been doing a lot of 3D for 2D to make it look like it was like toon shaded. That's why I did that project, just to play around with. But a lot of the stuff I've done has not been like characters, it's been objects and things to help other people with After Effects files and stuff like that. But that was like fun, just to like see what I could do in cinema. Because like most of the time this year, I've just like played a lot with Cinema 4D because I never used it properly. And then I was like, if I had to try and do an actual client project, that I would be able to pull it off myself, because I knew that Rickard hadn't really played around with it. So nope, don't want to fail. So yeah, a lot of
the cat one that you're showing right now, and the one that you're highlighted over
the cat one, the motion on that cat is incredible.
Yeah,
it's so fluid.
Yeah.
This one where the person is laying on the table, that's 3D, right? That's 3D person. Yeah. And what about this one though, the wintertime? Is that 3D as well? It says
that's
3D, that looks 2D.
As well, yeah.
It literally says
it. Yeah, I have a video of it, like the wireframe, in case no one actually believed me. Because some people were like, no way, and I was like, yeah. They're like, prove it. I was like, here you go, it's easy.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, if you're doing 3D for 2D, it's a lot of times it's easy to tell, and you're like, oh, that wasn't done by hand, that's 3D and whatever. That, yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, that's cheating, you know. But the look of this one, it just looks so 2D. What
I did I did a bit of frame by frame like wash to put that like flickery effect on top, but then I used a lot of noises in my in the cell shader, so then it kind of didn't look clean. So I did a lot of like breaking a lot of things. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was like, what if I put this in here?
It worked really well.
Yeah. Originally it was the hair was supposed to be better, but that didn't work either, so and I used a few weird techniques that like just I was like, I'm gonna do everything in cinema. So even the jumper thing, I actually used a bit of the dynamics to blow up the jumper. So I was like, well, everyone's been doing this cool technique, so I'm going to try it out and not do it for just, you know, what everyone else is doing, like a circle with like movements on it. And but then I was like, I'll actually use it for a character. So yeah.
That's rad. All the movements are so good.
Tokyo Megaplex has another question, actually. Any other cool character or other artists that inspire your work that you want to plug? And are you friends with Joseph Melhuish from UK, or Andrew
Yes, I know
or
him.
Naruto
Yeah.
from Australia? Or
I
Naruto?
well, I've never met that person. Australia's a big place,
Yeah.
guys.
Nah. Like the size of
Nah.
New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's not many people, but
Right.
it's quite large.
But you're in the UK,
Um,
you know Raid Zero, right?
Yeah, well, I still haven't seen him over here. We were supposed to have dinner and he was going to buy me a meal.
What's up with that, Phil?
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
Phil.
He's
on
in there,
chat.
right? I know he's watching.
Yeah.
Come on.
Crap.
It's funny.
Yeah, no, I know like way too many people. I like go to a lot of meetups and stuff. In fact, there was 2 meetups tonight, but I'm on this podcast right now, so
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, you can
It's all
still
right.
make them, right? It's only like, what, 7:30?
I think yeah, what time is it?
7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7:30. Yeah, my computer is on Australian time, so
You can still make it out
so
there.
it says 6:22 a.m. I was like, what? I think, yeah, I think Loop De Loop was starting at 7, so they start their screening around that time. But then the other one was starting at 7, but it's just drinks. So that's all Cinema 4D friends. Yeah, I've met so many people here just because of all the meetups that I've gone to, and also through work because a lot of people know heaps of people. I went to, like, when I went to Blend, I met heaps of people over the other side of the world. Obviously know a lot of people back home.
The captain.
Yeah, the captain. Yeah, saw him. I used to live around the corner from him, which is funny. I
Really?
used to see him on the weekends sometimes. Like,
That's
oh,
funny.
hello. You don't know me, but I know you.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Australia's huge, you know.
Right, but
you
he
guys
was around
so
the corner.
happen to live right next
Yeah.
to each other.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Apparently, Melbourne's like the same size as London, but it's just got 3 million people. London has like 11.5 million people. So, yeah.
Tokyo also said, I found character stuff, particularly rigging / animation, to be tricky in cinema. Curious for thoughts on that versus Maya or other apps. What your workflow is for these days, professional and personal.
Yeah, so I was kind of sad when I first moved from Maya to Cinema because I found a lot, like I'm still learning how to do a lot of the rigging that I did in Maya in Cinema 4D. But yeah, I've kind of coped. It's a lot simple. A lot of things in Cinema 4D are simpler, but things that annoy me are like the UV mapping and the weight mapping are horrible. But like on the Slack channel, I've managed to get a bit of help with like nodes and stuff like that while I've been trying to do some rigging on this character's face that I've been working on, because it has to do a lot of faces and I've done a lot of different blend shapes, but linking them up so then they could do exactly what I wanted them to do sometimes takes a lot longer than I was thinking, but it's actually come out really well. Like I've got like moving like bits on the face that like you can move the mouth smaller and bigger without having just to do sliders on their own.
That's cool.
Things turn on and off, like the knees don't bend weirdly when they bend at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
So I've just learned all that. That was, at first I was a bit worried when I first got into cinema from Maya because I was very heavily reliant on the node editor because I don't really know how to code properly, so I tend to do just nodes. But like it's sometimes a bit laggy. My rigs are not exactly the most, you know, what would you say, not clean, but fast. Some things kind of lag with like the parenting tags and stuff like that. They can kind of like not snap back in the way that I want.
Yeah.
But like it's still usable. It renders out fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, when you animate a lot of characters in one scene, it gets a bit choppy. So I tend to just do a lot of XRefs and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been an easy transition considering I didn't use cinema up until this year. I've managed to work with it for a whole year. So
Are you when you're freelancing, are you freelancing cinema and Maya and
hopefully,
Max?
No, I'm forgetting Max. It was really good for modeling, like doing box modeling things, and it had a great layer stack. But animating in Max is horrible for me.
Yeah.
Like when I started in Maya and then going into Max, I was just like, this is terrible. But yeah, I'm just gonna do Maya and cinema.
That's cool.
Hopefully not have to do too much After Effects, but maybe.
Well, with the UV thing, Matt, were you gonna mention that tweet?
I was gonna reference the tweet by Dave McGavran.
Yeah.
You have been heard.
Capital
Yeah.
U,
So-
capital V.
I have told them many times how bad
Yeah.
it is. It's like
Trust
so
me, you're not the
unusable.
only one. You're not
Oh
the
my
only
god. Someone was trying to tell me, but what do you mean it's fine? I was like, no, it's not. Not for what I need it for. It's like every time I want to just relax one little tiny bit, it just relaxes the whole bloody thing. I was like, oh my god.
Mhm.
I just do it in Maya. So yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So sad.
So I also
I
wanted
can't afford it, but yeah.
wanted to open it up to questions as well. If anybody else has questions in the chats. Well,
If you could work anywhere, where would it be?
Buck, New York.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I would love to work there. That'd be amazing. But
Yeah.
I don't know how I'd cope with the cold there. It's cold here, but
I was
it's
gonna
colder
say, isn't
there.
it cold there?
No, well, it doesn't snow. Well,
It doesn't?
apparently, well, it didn't snow this year, and apparently last year it snowed a lot. But I don't know. No one said anything about snowing this year coming, so I don't know.
Does it snow in Melbourne?
No, God no. It's not.
I'm
it's not
sorry,
cold
I've never
out
been
there.
to Australia.
I've never really seen snow, so does that say anything?
Mm.
Yeah, it's too warm in Australia. Yeah.
It's the first time
There's
for
like
everything.
a couple of mountains.
You tried
Yeah.
s'mores, so
Oh yes,
That's true.
yeah.
yeah.
Someone today said schmores. So it's not just me. That was a British
Schmores.
guy that
Yeah.
said schmores.
S'mores.
And then
We
I
actually knew what he was
corrected
talking about then.
Yeah.
him. Yeah. I was like, oh no.
I'm glad I could be there for your first s'more and for Phil's first s'more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Bill not only had his first s'more, he had his first s'more on the same day that we had American Thanksgiving at
Oh
camp.
yeah.
Gosh, that Thanksgiving dinner was so good.
I had never had turkey before either.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I-
That's
Wow.
the best turkey you'll ever have in your life.
Yeah,
So,
that was a good one to have.
You could just stop now.
Can you bring that back for the next camp then?
We can try.
try.
We can try.
Try.
We'll fly.
Yeah.
We should fly in their cooking staff to the other.
cooking.
That'd be great.
And no offense to y'all, but we really liked this cooking staff.
Right.
You guys just not good enough.
Well,
What were some of your inspirations? Like
Inspiration.
what was it about animation and 3D that made you want to get into it?
So actually originally, because I really love cartoons, like I'm obsessed.
Yeah. What's your
Um,
favorite?
Well, like as I was growing up, it was a lot of like Digimon and Pokemon, which are
Okay.
not the greatest animation styles, but then obviously Disney.
Right.
But it was about like Pokemon was the character design. I used to draw the characters like a million times. I used to make my own Pokemon, my own Digimon. Like I have so many drawings. There's some weird drawings. There's like meshed up. I remember because I had to go. I went through a few of my picture storybooks for NodeFest because I wanted to have some photos of old drawings. And I'm like, what the hell was going through my mind? Like I drew like this chicken with half a head on and like this dinosaur. Most of them are dinosaurs.
Of course.
Like the dinosaur's like eating half of the head, just like ripping it off, and all this blood's like splatting out, and the head's like, ah!
Your poor parents, what did they think?
Well, I remember my mum asking me when I think I was about maybe 16, And she
Uh-huh.
was like, because I think she was worried that maybe I wasn't into guys or girls or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just obsessed with drawing dinosaurs. And so she was quite weirded out that maybe I was like sexually attracted to dinosaurs or something. But firstly, she asked me about women, and I was like, yeah, I like women.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's like, yeah, but do you love women? It's like, I love women, I love you. So I don't really remember exactly what I said, but my mom tells me this story all the time. But yeah, I don't think I was really into like dating until I was out of high school anyway. But yeah, it's just like all I wanted to do was draw. I was just like, don't go out. I just want to draw and make something out of pipe cleaners, make something out of clay, make something like sewing machines and making stuffed
Oh
toys. It's
yeah,
just everything stuff.
you do your own clothes too.
Yeah, well, not right now in London because I don't have a sewing machine, but
Hmm.
I used to go op shopping a lot. I still do. Um, I buy everything secondhand and then I just like try and make it fit me.
That's cool.
My
The
outfit is all secondhand. Ooh.
You had like an Adventure Time or like Lady Rainicorn outfit that you made, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was super
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I've got I have a lot of clothes that I wear that I've made myself. They've got terrible stitching, and if I like move too much, maybe it might open up. And usually I try and wear shorts under those dresses, but just in case.
Where did you even find the Adventure Time fabric?
Well, actually, just like online, I think. So I don't know if you guys have Spotlight. Spotlight is Australian brand, but they
Hmm.
sell all kinds of like fabrics, and that was like my pastime of just go into Spotlight and go, ooh, maybe 1 meter of this fabric. Ooh, maybe I'll get this glitter. Ooh, maybe I'll buy some of this, buy some of that, some paint, some nail polish, some curtain rails. Who knows? Everything weird and wonderful creatively there. Um, yeah, I don't know the equivalent in America, so
You need a
neither
sewing
do I know
machine.
the
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I miss having a sewing machine. Yeah. I also need a desk to have a sewing machine, but I don't have that either. So I don't have a wardrobe either. So it's like, oh, what? I've got a bed and two shelves
I sleep on
and a
two wooden
microwave.
planks. I got a brick for a pillow.
Oh my gosh. That's an old reference. Wow.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, well hopefully that freelance life is gonna get you some of that sweet, sweet sewing
Yeah.
machine money.
right.
Yeah.
Firstly, I'm going to buy a new phone because when that got stolen from me by some idiot on a bike in London,
Really?
yeah, it got stolen. I was holding my purse and my phone in my hand while I was waiting for the bus. It was like about 9 o'clock at night, and I had just came back from a meetup, and I said goodbye to one of my friends. I was like, oh, I'll see you tomorrow, and then I just like went to the bus stop, was just standing there like against the wall, and then these two guys on a bike just like came up on the footpath, and I was like, oh, they must be like driving to their house, and then they were just like, no, she's staring right at me, and they just took it right out of my hands, and I was like, ah, shit, like that's my credit card,
Oh my
my
gosh.
driver's license, my phone. I had nothing, and I was like, oh, lucky I had my keys in my pocket, but
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, then I
People
had
are
to.
the worst.
I know.
And I didn't have much money in my account, so all I could afford was this Nokia phone. Look, guys, it's a Nokia. Old school.
Is
But
it
it is
hopefully
like-
it's as durable as the old Nokias?
No, it's sorry, Nokia, you didn't do very well on this one.
Oh.
I've had it for like not even 6 months, and it's already playing up. And I've always like had a phone for like 4 years, and this one is like already like freezing, doesn't recognize my fingerprint anymore, and just like like it obviously doesn't have enough RAM because like if I go into another program, it just like restarts every other program. It's just like,
Oh,
trying to do
jeez.
internet banking is so hard. So yeah, I have regrets. £130 off Amazon, not a very good quality phone.
Needs a bad
Yeah.
review. 1-star review.
Well, it had really good reviews for a budget phone, and I was like, well, it's not the cheapest, but it's not the expensive one. I wanted a Pixel, which was £350, but I just didn't have that money, and I was like, now I regret it. I should have just saved for another month and then just been without a phone for a month. But then I also had SIGGRAPH, so I needed a phone for that. So yeah.
So are you gonna do any
sucks.
sort of independent shorts or anything like that coming up?
I hope so. I wanted to do a little animation for going freelance, but I haven't had any time since I got back from Australia for Node Fest.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is I have done my website and I've worked on some contracts and I think I'm ready. I've got my email template ready to email to all the places that I want to work at. So I
read the freelance manifesto.
Yeah, I've got that book. It's right next to my bed. Haven't read the whole thing though. I'm a very slow reader.
It's an easy read.
Yeah. Yes, and I've got so much support from a lot of people, especially in the Mograph Slack and just people in general in London. They're just so friendly. It's fantastic.
Except for those people who steal your phone.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm talking about the Mograph people.
Oh, the Mograph.
Those people can die.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of them, sadly. I had a few friends that it's happened to them, and I was like, oh my God, they're everywhere. Now I'm paranoid. I never take my phone out when it's dark, which is at 4 p.m. But still, yeah, it's like pitch black outside. I'm just yeah.
So
nice in summer though.
I think it's going to be really fun to do the Beeple's People segment with you today. I think you're going to have some interesting things to say. Real quick though, I just wanted to throw out 3 really quick links. Number 1 is Sakani came out with a Star Wars short, and I was waiting for that because he actually told me that that's what he was doing and that he would come on the show sometime after that release to talk about it. So I'm really excited about that. So that'll probably be January, February. So I'll put a link to that in the show notes. You can check that out. So good. And then there's a video. Chris Doe answers tough questions from Beeple. heated debate. You got to check that out. And then lastly, Maxon just came out with their holiday Christmas card today.
Yeah, the Christmas card is really good.
Yeah,
it's very, very good.
Was that the animation thing?
Yeah.
It was the elves and the Santa and the truck and stuff like that.
Yeah,
did you see the behind the scenes thing?
No.
When he was talking about how he rigged the characters, he did it what he called marionette style, where basically the arms and legs weren't actually attached to the body, so you didn't have to deal with any of the deformations whenever you were dealing with the arms moving and the legs moving and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
That's all the stuff I've been trying to do on my rig at the moment. Was trying to rig up the automatic fixes of the shoulders, and the knees and stuff.
Have you messed with EJ's bendy?
I was about to ask that.
I have it on my computer. I just haven't tried it. I haven't had a chance. A lot of my characters, their limbs are connected to their bodies.
Yeah.
So I have to make a character that has detachable limbs. See what that happens.
It doesn't have to have detachable limbs for bendy.
Well, they have to at least be kind of not on. Well, they kind of go in the mesh.
Right.
But most I always model everything together.
Yeah.
I'm very visual. Sorry, everyone. Spotify and iTunes.
Let's go to Beeple's People. I am very excited to bring these up. If you bring up your Beeple viewer of choice, I'm using Twitter. This is going to be December 5th, Year of Our Lord 2019. And
it's my dog's birthday, by the way. December 5th.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to say December 13th he called it in. He just called it in that
December 13th? What was that one?
That was the Boris Johnson one.
With the monkeys. I'm looking at them.
Yeah.
Or gorillas.
Yeah, he phoned in that one.
Empty fridge.
Empty fridge. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
That is
I feel like he could have done more on that one.
Interesting. That's
Yeah.
very interesting. Okay, let's go
Do you
to.
think the black bit is connected to the head, or is that part of the monkey?
Oh man,
think
that's a
that
good
is-
question.
Oh.
Is it half a?
I think it's connected to the head, and like the monkeys, they come out of the
It'd be
head.
funny if that were actually just half a gorilla with a inner tube because he doesn't know how to swim. Anyway, December 5th is called Stray Baby Yodas. He got a little
Yep.
Yoda kick here.
Yeah.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
I did. Do you see the hidden hot pocket?
No, where's it?
I
Oh
wanted to
yes.
ask, what the hell is a hot
Yeah.
pocket?
Oh
You don't know what a
man.
hot pocket
I
is?
don't know what it is. I actually
Oh.
asked him, but he never replied.
Dave, look up a hot pocket so she can see what a hot pocket is.
I mean, I can go to.
a hot pocket. It's like a calzone. Do you know what a
Oh.
calzone is?
Yeah, that's like an Italian thing, yeah?
Yeah. So it's like it's a really shitty calzone,
Oh.
right? And they sell them, and they're super cheap. You can buy like,
Ew.
basically, you throw them in the microwave. They're horribly frozen, right? You throw them in the microwave, and you cook them for like 3 minutes or a minute or something like that. And they're always like, they're super duper hot when you bite into them, and then the center is freezing cold.
Yeah, and you
Oh.
burn your
They're
mouth.
the worst.
So it's like a kind of like a sausage roll, but not a sausage roll.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of.
Then why do they call it a hot pocket if it's cold in the middle?
Because
Well,
because-
it's supposed to
hot.
be.
It's microwave lava. Yeah. There's a comedian called named Jim Gaffigan who does a really good routine about hot pockets.
I'll have to look it up.
Yes. Yes, a hot pocket is a sandwich.
Mm.
Oh
Hang on.
yeah, the debate.
Yes.
It's not a
A hot
burrito.
pocket is a sandwich.
It's not a burrito.
No, because it depends if you're basing things off of Mexican food or if you're basing things off of the sandwich salad model. Like, see, I like to go with the burrito taco tostada
Hmm.
model.
Yeah.
More like a snot pocket.
Chlorophyll.
Ew.
We're like borophyll.
Ooh.
Jess will send you a box of hot pockets.
Right.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Best present ever.
All right. Let's talk about what is it? Stray Baby Yodas. Because there's a lot of little hidden things besides the hot pocket, but the hot pocket isn't in a hot pocket case. It's like a canister that says hot pockets.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
we evolved?
Close enough.
I don't know. There's also the Disney Plus thing.
There's a
You
Disney
know,
Plus
Google
thing.
in the background.
Yeah, I see Google.
Like,
Why is Google in this? Though?
and then there's like the bad masking part that he did at the bottom left corner
What?
where he just
Oh,
duplicated.
weird.
Yeah.
I can't see it because it's a tiny picture on my screen and I'm too scared to touch anything on my computer.
That's just a Matt. Whenever you see that, a wizard did it.
Whenever I saw something the other day on Reddit where someone was, what was it? It was like someone from The Simpsons or something like that was doing an AMA, and someone asked
Oh yeah.
a question about, like, they were holding a microphone and said in one scene he has 4 fingers and in the next scene he has 5, and I was like, and sure enough, you scroll down and it says whenever something like that happens,
A wizard did it. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't know why Yoda is a machine and eating babies, but
well,
he
because
is.
you know, Baby Yoda eats frogs.
Well,
So-
Baby
I was
Yoda
gonna
eats
say-
everything.
Meat
Baby
eater.
Yoda in the first few shows looks a bit like it's like a hand puppet robot kind of thing, maybe.
I can't tell.
I can
It
see that.
it almost looks like when they're handling Yoda, Baby Yoda, like they're trying to be very careful and go really slow because they told them to do that because the VFX person is really gonna have a hard time.
I think they're actually using puppets on most of
I
it.
thought it was puppet because
Yeah, I'm pretty
like
sure
the
they're
eyes
using
don't
puppets
even close
on-
properly.
Yeah, on most of it.
Yeah.
But when they
Some of
they
it,
move
yeah.
it, but I feel like when they go to a close up, then it's not a puppet, right?
Yeah. No, Baby Yoda's a puppet.
It's fully
Yeah.
puppet. Are you sure?
I don't know if all of it is a puppet. I'm pretty sure it's mostly a puppet.
They just look like they're trying
Well, it
really
moves
hard
like
not
a
to
puppet.
screw it up. You know, like there's a prop
maybe.
person who's been working on it. They're like, okay, make sure that you don't tip him or it'll explode. You know, it's like, I don't know. Like, and they look like they're trying so hard not to screw it up. They're like, guys, if you drop this thing, like it costs $1 million, so don't drop this thing. And so they're like, yeah. I don't know. Anyway,
maybe they're just trying to pretend it has weight to it when in fact it's literally just like foam, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right, let's go to the next one, December 6th. This is called Meathead.
Yep.
Oh, there's meat.
Yeah.
Yep. Donald Trump with a hamburger head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Meat coming out of his head. And
oh, look, it's the Republican Party.
a big tweet on top of him. And
oh yeah, I see.
Notice that the Twitter bird is taking a poo on his head.
Yeah.
Oh, I can just see that. Ooh.
And then you see surrounding him is Mitch McConnell and Devin Nunes and
I see what you did there.
Yeah,
I see what you did there. They're pigs.
Yeah.
Now what is this? There's something else in the middle here. What is this?
That is skull. I think it's his skull.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta say that's a good looking 3D cheeseburger.
Hamburger?
It makes me hungry. The cheese.
I haven't had dinner.
Yeah.
Go get a snack. Come on, you can snack
Oh,
while we're talking.
We're almost
it
done.
means I have to leave the room.
Oh, we're
for a
almost
few
done.
seconds.
Did you notice that the lettuce is going through his eyeballs? And
Oh, really?
and he's crying milk or
Oh,
something?
no.
Weird.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I'm not going to pretend it's a political statement because you never know what it's what it means. What does it mean? The last one is December 11th, Dust to Dust. Where's December 11th? Oh.
Ooh.
So-
Haven't seen this one.
Yeah.
This one is great.
Something. Oh,
There's a whole story behind it. I figured you would have you could tell this whole Instagram story
I totally
thing.
forgot what it was.
But
I forgot what it was.
It was about him not going to the bathroom.
Oh.
Remember?
I totally forgot. Yeah, I know he posted a story or something on Instagram about this. Oh, that's right. Okay, now I remember. He said you want to know how to make you want to know the secret to doing everydays for 12 years straight? I don't ever poop. He said he said he doesn't ever poop. So Beeple for 12 years has not pooped even once, right?
Well, that's what he said.
Time that he would normally, the time that he would normally poop, and he makes a daily, And so this is what happens when you don't poop for 12 years.
I want to say, throw my friend under the bus, Dev from work. He told me that when he was younger, he didn't poo for months. And his mum was like, "Why don't I never see you go to poo?" And then he all of a sudden he blames his mum for saying, "Why don't you poo all the time?" And now he poos every day. But he said before that he would go 4 months without pooing.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
If I had 3 wishes, if a genie came down and said you have 3 wishes, my first wish would be any pair of pants I wore, anytime I reached into the pockets, I would pull money out, right?
Nice.
Okay.
Number 2 would be to live forever, basically control death, right?
Okay.
And the third would be to never poop again.
All right.
I'll never have to use the bathroom. It's usually having to pee all the time is my problem.
Yeah, I got to go right now.
Yeah, me
Right?
too.
Yeah. Well, we're close to the end. We're close to the end. All we got left
I
is
want it to end.
Yeah, we
I
got-
want to wish it end.
it's been almost 2 hours here. So,
Oh,
we're going to do Mograph recommends. I don't know if you prepped any answers to this or not, but
just make it up. It's fine.
we're going to go through some of your favorites. Now, I'll preface this by saying when we ask these questions, it doesn't have to be your all-time favorite per se. It can be a recent favorite if you would like, So, what did Fried Pixels put in there? Despite everyone having fallen in love with the puppet, Baby Yoda, who's officially known in the series as the child, was nearly a purely CGI creation. Really?
They did pretty convincing puppet then.
Huh. Okay.
was nearly a purely CGI.
I'm telling you, when they're carrying him, they're carrying
I'm pretty
the
sure
prop.
it's a puppet.
We'll have to research this.
Live.
Is Baby Yoda a puppet?
Anyway, let's go to Mograph recommends, and we'll start on that while Matt's researching. So tell us what your favorite movie is.
Because I love animations, I gotta admit Zootopia is like one of my favorite movies. Like the character design, the animation, the storyline, the scenes, it's just so beautiful. Like I love a lot of the Disney and Pixar movies, but yeah, that one was one of my favorites.
I bet their hippo danced without any issues.
Oh, but then imagine how many people actually worked on the hippo.
True.
Oh, I always think about that. I was like, I'm just one person, and then they probably got like 7 people like working on this one character. Oh, I've read like the book, like with all the initial sketches and all that stuff. So beautiful, yeah. Oh God. Oh, just thinking about it, so nice. I wish I was that talented. Oh God.
2 technicians operate the Baby Yoda puppet on set. One was for the eyes and the mouth, and the other one was for the facial expressions. It's a phenomenal technological achievement, but beyond the technological achievements, it's heartbreaking. It's so cute.
All right.
There you go.
How about music? I'm really interested to see what kind of music you like.
Well, I actually really like. Well, it's funny because I did the Spotify like year thing.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I want to be involved with this. Apparently, I listen to metalcore a lot. Yeah.
What?
I was just calling it screamo, but
Okay.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of like Australian, a few international bands, but mostly Australian bands like North Lane.
Oh, like Men at Work and Silverchair.
I like Silverchair. It's old school. It's funny because like a whole bunch of like real metalcore bands of like who are big in the past few years actually redid a whole album of Silverchair songs.
Really?
So, yeah, actually really enjoyed that album. So
you should send it to me. I'll listen to that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few of my favorite artists in there. I tend to like the smaller bands because they're cheaper to see,
right,
and easier to get tickets. Because trying to get tickets, especially in Australia, like you don't get too many bands that come and to Australia. But over here, there's so many. Actually, my favorite, it was my most played artist, North Lane, actually was playing in London about 2 weeks ago. I had no idea until I saw on Spotify, and I was like, well, it's too late, I can't buy tickets now. But yeah, I like also like some old school, like Bring Me the Horizon. I think Era is from America. I don't know where, but they're like a big band that I like listening to. Big fan.
And is that what you listen to while you're working, or do you listen to nothing?
I listen to news podcasts, and I've been listening to your podcast ever since I met you guys. Sweet. I'm slowly going through all 200 of them.
Oh man!
Oh gosh!
Yeah, I want to hear like early days.
Yeah, listen to episode 1. It's like
yeah,
I talk like this. And
yeah, I know. I was like, what happened to your voice?
I think the first time
it's because we were doing it at night for like probably like the first year. It was Sunday night, and
late.
So like,
and it was
my wife
not
and kid
live.
were asleep, and I didn't want to wake them up.
And I was like, "What's this artist's name? Bleeple? Bleeple?
Bleeple?
Yeah."
I was like, I thought you were like trying to like, I don't know, be cool or something, and then all of a sudden you're just like, screw this, I'm gonna be myself now.
Nah.
I'm trying to be NPR.
Yeah.
Hi. Welcome to the Mograph podcast. Today we'll be talking to Herrerasaurus.
This week's sponsor is
I'm
Casper
really glad
mattress.
Sealy
Casper.
Posturepedic bed.
Yeah. It's always a mattress, isn't it? Yeah. Hey, we didn't talk about. We went and saw Madian this week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
visuals were
Oh, I
spectacular.
didn't tell- yeah, they were. And you know what? I figured out. It's so funny because I was on Reddit the other day. Sorry, Jessica, we totally interrupted you.
Right.
Well, I have no
Yeah.
idea what's going on.
All right, but someone had posted the Madian visuals, and said, "How do you do this?" Because we were talking about like the weird color rainbowy stuff.
Mhm.
It's you take a black and white image and you put colorama in After Effects and just change the phase.
Yeah, that's
it. Yeah.
So easy.
So anyway, I was gonna tell you. So okay, so the opening band was some band called like Elo or something like that.
They were playing
And they
other
kept
people's
on-
music.
I don't know.
Oh.
They kept flashing up this phone number.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna these visuals are bad. I'm gonna text them, Or that's what I thought the thing was. I was like, okay, this is either like a joke on someone that they know, So like, hey, text this number or something. So I was like, I'm gonna text it. So I texted. I said, yo, let us do some concert visuals for you. And I put nexusmotion.com. And so what it was just a response, like they would send you a link to their new song on Spotify. But then, Dave, I didn't tell you this. Friday, they text messaged me back and said, hey, thanks for sending your work. Looks dope. Email us. And they gave me their email address.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome. Yeah, I felt like, okay, here's the thing. First of all, vaporware and early 80s, everything is coming back with this design stuff.
Madian's visuals were awesome.
They were
I loved
awesome.
it. Like,
and that was
they
good.
were really good.
That was done very well, and it worked with the music so well. It's stuff that is not necessarily hard to do. It's just that it works.
It was a lot of simple, like, a 3D character just moving a little bit with some marvelous designer. So you get the movement of the clothing
and
it
works
stuff.
so well.
And that's really all it was. But like the way they also had him framed. Like he was in the center between like two little things.
Huge LED wall behind him.
Yeah. So like there were parts where people were singing like chorus or like a chorus or something. And so they would put multiple people behind him to make it look like there was this big chorus of people singing. It was very cool.
And then it would go
very,
black,
very cool.
and then like the lights in front of him would turn on. And so it felt very layered. The other band, though, they were just using footage. And I'm like, your songs are not.
And they didn't even blow up the stuff to like the full size of the screen.
Well, that's on
was like-
purpose. That's because you.
Why?
Because you don't want to upstage the main act. You
Boo.
always,
True.
yeah.
That's
But
true.
but the whole thing with their visuals is they were not.
Their visuals weren't good enough in order to upstage anything. It was a bunch of footage with a bunch of glitch filters on
It's
them.
just the
And
footage
a phone
didn't
number
match.
800 times.
It didn't
I'm
match.
actually surprised they had visuals because usually
Yeah,
I find
yeah.
they never have visuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
they're
like
probably just lucky they did.
if you're
Yeah.
listening to a band that is playing EDM, you want to see more like trippy, like graphic-y things, and not videos that look like they're people's Instagram at the beach. It just didn't
or
feel.
taken from Pond 5,
Yeah.
Pretty girl at the beach.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Picks up phone that was connected to a chair,
Yes.
which is what it was.
Which
I don't know.
you know.
They were going for deep. I don't know.
That's the thing. When you're
Yeah.
24 years old, you think that a rotary telephone's edgy. So
The music was good. The music was good. I
The
enjoyed
music
it.
was
I've actually
great.
listened to them a couple of times since.
I just feel
So-
like those visuals need to match the sound. They didn't
I
feel
agree.
like they matched the
I
sound.
agree.
Anyway, we'll get back to
Anyway.
your thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of similar subject. We're talking about
Yeah.
music.
Yeah. Okay, what about TV shows? What are you watching besides Mandalorian?
I've been watching Dark Materials. That's really awesome.
I don't know that one.
It's like kind of like I like it because of all the animals. It's about the Golden Compass, the books.
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
There was a really shitty movie, but
Yes, I've
Yeah.
seen the shitty movie.
I don't know if it's like his Dark Materials or Dark Materials. I can't remember the exact
It's
name.
Dark Materials.
That one.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is really good, and surprisingly, the animals look really awesome because they talk and
yeah?
everything. I've been watching that. Also, Rick and Morty,
Of course.
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta watch that.
Do you guys?
Do you get
y'all
the new
have,
ones?
Season 4 yet?
I have my sources.
Okay. Have you seen the newest episode?
I saw the last one I saw was the dragon one.
Okay, that one's pretty good.
My friend downloads them for me. I actually have no internet in my house, so
that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fix that for your freelance work.
I know. Well, right now we have absolutely zero internet. It was before it was like 0.6 something or something. It was terrible. Like I couldn't watch any Netflix.
Are you paying for it?
I pay a lump sum of money.
See, they should.
Yeah.
Oh, like through your lease or something?
Yeah. It's like I pay.
You should not pay that part. Say, I'm not paying for this because I don't have
because
it.
it's zero.
Well, I live with my landlord, so it's just her and I, and she doesn't really use the internet.
Hey, can we get some internet? Maybe just a little.
Oh, trust me, I've been asking for 3 months. It's been 3 months.
You haven't had internet for 3 months?
I've been using my phone data.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Yeah, you got to get that worked out.
Download me all these videos, so it's great.
You need to move.
Yeah.
All right. I just gotta say, you gotta move.
I will.
Yeah. Get that sweet freelance dough and then get out of there.
No, the Rick and Morty that was last night was really good.
I really enjoyed it.
The snakes one.
I thought it was good.
The snakes one. It was so good.
I have really enjoyed this season. I thought this season is pretty good so far.
Oh man, the toilet one was like something.
It was very good. Yeah.
With Bernard from Westworld.
Could you imagine like having your own world where you just like that's where you go, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe if I had one of those, that wouldn't be one of my wishes to never poop again.
Yeah, you would just want that world. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Elon Tusk as well. That was awesome.
The Elon Tusk. Yeah.
At first I was like, is that him? It was like, yeah, it is him. It's his voice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's been on a bunch of shows, I think. Like he seems to like doing cameos, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we kind of talked about this, but what about podcasts?
Oh, so I listened to, well, obviously you guys. I started listening to you guys when I met you at SIGGRAPH because I was like, who are these guys? And then I started listening.
That's what most people say.
Yeah.
And now that I actually know who half the people you're talking about, it's more enjoyable. And I started laughing, and people were like, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, "Oh, you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it.
You're not in the know."
Yeah.
Yeah. And I listened to like other Mograph podcasts like Motion Hatch and Pro Video Podcast.
Yeah.
And
love myself some Pro Video. You were on there just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I was.
I listened to that one.
Yeah, oh god. Was that okay? I don't know.
Yeah, it was fine.
That was when I did have internet in my house.
Right.
Yeah. But then I listened to so I'm really into the news, so I listen to the BBC here and the ABC back home. So I listen to, there's a lot of different podcasts on the ABC Listen app, and I listen to like the 8 a.m. news, which is not actually 8 a.m. for me.
Right.
But then I listen to something called The Signal, which usually talks about one topic in particular, like today's, oh no, wait, it wasn't on today, but last week there was like stuff about global warming and certain little bits like the bushfires in Australia, because literally right now half of Australia is on fire. Like every day, it's like a joke now. Everyone's like, oh, Jess, how many states are on fire today? It's like 4 states today, 4 states.
Like, out of how many states?
I don't want to get this wrong, but there's not like America. So, well, it was Queensland, New South Wales, Western Australia, and South. Was it Northern Territory or South Australia? I don't remember. But then there's also ACT, Tasmania, and Victoria. So there's not many.
I know Tasmania from Looney Tunes.
Yeah, from the show.
Tassie Devil.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like one though.
Did you ever? How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay. What was I gonna say? Because he's referencing an old show, Tasmania.
Yeah.
You know Tasmania? Do you know Tasmania?
No, not the show.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah. So there was a show. Did you ever see Tiny Toon Adventures?
I never watched the Tasmania show. I just watched the old Looney Tunes with Tasmania.
Well, to be honest, when I was younger, I wasn't allowed to watch kids' TV unless it was
Really?
a weekend
Oh,
or at my
no.
grandma's house. Yeah, I had to watch the news, so that's probably why I'm addicted to listening to news podcasts. I'm just like, oh, I want to know what's going on in the world. I haven't seen my daily news. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's always really interesting. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh my God, guys, did you hear about this? And then they were like, what? And I'm like, oh, don't listen to the news.
Yeah.
And then I found out that I could vote over here. So I voted last week. I voted for Labour and they didn't win. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
well, I tried.
I was
one vote counted.
that one, like, I kind of follow UK politics a little bit because I feel like, I don't know, anyway, I was very hurt by that one.
Yeah, so was I. And like half the people at my work can't even vote because they're from Europe. And I just find it funny that I can stay here for 2 years as a Commonwealth citizen. I can vote, but I haven't lived here for like 10 years like some of my other friends. And they were just like, please vote for us. I was like, of course I will. I'm trying to get all my Australian friends to vote too.
Yeah. I was talking to my brother the other day. I have 2 younger brothers. I text messaged my youngest brother and I said, are you registered to vote? He goes, I'm 20 something years old. Of course I'm registered to vote. And I was like, I don't say that because I guarantee you I'll text my other brother who's over 30 and he's not registered to vote. Sure enough, he was not registered to vote.
No. Well, in Australia, it's legal and you have to vote. And so people just, sometimes they just draw a massive penis on it and that's their vote. But
you have to vote?
You have to vote, yeah.
See, I wish that was the case. If we could get, honestly, if people were forced to vote, Yeah, it'd
be a lot different.
Yeah.
Our whole... Same in the UK. It's like, I bet you all the people who were going, vote for Labour, they never actually went to the voting polls, and then half the people who are like, Brexit, and then
right.
Yeah.
All right, next one on the list. Favorite plugin.
Welcome to the news podcast with Jessica Herrera, sponsored by Casper Mattresses.
Yeah.
I actually don't really use that many plugins in Cinema 4D, that is, but in Maya I used to use like Animator's Toolkit, which was awesome, but half the people that listen to this podcast don't use Maya, so I think the only plugin that I have are the render Octane and Magic Solo. That's the only thing I have because I got sick of the solo button in R20. So
that R21.
Yeah,
21 is nice.
Yeah.
I have a legit version of R20, but that means that I would have to pay for R21.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm gonna try and hang on to this free version for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about headphones?
Have you?
Oh,
hold on,
sorry.
real quick. Have you tried out Delta Mush?
Oh yeah.
For cinema.
What's that?
It's so basically if someone hands you a rig and it's a terrible rig or something like that, you can put Delta Mush on it and it'll help smooth out a lot of the
help my hippo big time.
Stuff. Yeah.
My hippo wouldn't have worked without Delta Mush.
Yeah.
You'll have to send me a link to that. I'm pretty oblivious to a lot of the Cinema 4D character plugins because I guess no one really talks about them. But I hear like people obviously using like other things like I
just sent it to you on Slack.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it smooths weights and it's free.
It's great.
Yeah.
I've used RealFlow for Cinema 4D here at Animate before, but nothing else plugin related to Cinema 4D because I just use I've used Soul programs like Marvelous Designer or ZBrush. Substance, but not plugins. So I've kind of gone around, like at SIGGRAPH, they're like, any plugins that you use? I'm like, nope.
You're my favorite type of person because I'm the one who has to install them all.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. I have a lot in After Effects though, but with After Effects, you kind of have to have a lot of them.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Yeah. But I used to do a lot of character animations in After Effects. I don't do that so much anymore. Like in the last 2 years, I have tried very hard not to touch it. But I can animate characters in After Effects. But
Shouldn't have said that. Now people.
well,
Right.
Animate found out about it and they started putting me on 2D stuff. And then at my review, I was like, I wasn't hired for this. How did you know that I could even use After Effects?
Yeah.
It's like I don't have anywhere on my website, on my show reel, on my Instagram. I got rid of all my After Effects stuff. And yet they still were like, but you're really good at it, Jess. We need you on this project. And I was like, oh my God, no. But yeah, if going gets tough, never know.
Now, how about headphones? Do you have a favorite pair of headphones?
I have a pair of Cinema 4D.
Ooh, it's top of the line right there.
Yeah.
I had a pair of good bud earphones that I got off Amazon. I wouldn't say they were great, but they broke on the plane on the way to Camp Mograph, and I was so upset. And then, Matthias gave me 2 pairs of these earphones, so it's great. But yeah, these are mine.
The Sony is good.
Sony.
Yeah.
But apart from that, like I know people have. I've always wanted Bose headphones.
Black Comfort 35s.
Yeah, and have like some wireless. Like I love these kind of headphones that go over your ear.
Yeah.
These are actually my work ones, but I have a pair of these at home that have noise canceling.
Yeah.
But not the same as like I've tried the Bose ones. It was like, wow.
It's crazy. Yeah, compared to even Sony,
And I would love them. But yeah, I also have never purchased any of that kind of stuff. I wish I could.
Once you hit that freelance life.
But hopefully, I have a few things on my list.
We'll
have
you back on the show a year from now, and you'll be like super baller with like gold rings,
blinged
and,
out
like
and-
gold chains and stuff.
I'll have a fake tooth that's gold too.
Yeah.
Gangsta.
That's good.
Okay, 2 more questions. What is on your Nokia phone? What is your favorite app?
Yeah. Actually, I have a really awesome app that I don't know if anyone knows about it. So I love comics. And there's like this comic app called Webtoons. And it's like all indie artists that write stories, and some of them are terrible, some of them are great. But I've been hooked on that thing ever since, I don't know, 3 years ago, and I've spent countless hours on that app.
Is it Webtoon?
Yeah, Webtoon, yeah. It's like a green little pop-up. Well, I've got it on my homepage on my phone.
Webtoon.
Yeah, Webtoon.
Yep.
There it is. It's awesome. I have so many comics that I follow, all different kinds of stories. They have funny ones. Actually, quite a few people, the artists are on Instagram that I follow too. They give out little sneak peeks to the next episode. I was like, ooh.
Do you follow Nathan Pyle?
Don't know who that is. Well,
does,
I'm really bad with names, but I remember the
what is it? Strange Planet? You know that one?
I might actually know, but it's not ringing a bell right now.
It's with the little alien dudes.
Oh, those guys, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I know those
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have their webtoons as well.
Yeah.
So there's those kind of comics, and then there's like full-on story comics, fantasy comics. There's even saucy comics if you want to go down the bit raunchy. I accidentally clicked on one, and I was like, oh my god.
And now
you're like, well, this is
targeted
just
ads.
fine.
Lucky it was on my old phone, so it's now gone away from my history. I don't want to be known for accidentally clicking on that one.
That's funny.
You're like, oh, you're into boy love, are you? Ooh.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I didn't know what it was. Oh, sorry. Yeah, really awesome app. It doesn't have anything to do with anything useful, but it wastes my time. Yeah.
Now, what about,
Yeah.
this is the tough one. What is your favorite life hack?
So I thought about this one because you always mention the toaster thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I can't do it right now because I don't have a purse.
Right.
But I used to, every time I go to a counter at the, like when you go pay for your groceries or something, you pretend to drop your purse on the ground and then you can search for coins on the floor.
Oh, gosh.
It's great.
Oh my
I
goodness.
found some good stuff under there. I found a 10-pound note, which is pretty valuable. That's one whole meal. Couple of really shitty, like 2p, but I remember back home I found $50. I didn't say anything.
Do you do that every time?
Not every time, just when I'm not in a hurry.
Ooh, we
You
get,
gotta make it look like you're dropping it on purpose, so then you're like, oh, sorry, I dropped some things, and then you're just like kind of like shuffling around. It's a good life hack.
gotta get that freelance life going.
When you really need every coin, you never know.
That's a
I've
good
seen
one,
people
though.
do it. Yeah, I think it's a good one. Now everyone's going to be doing it, and then now it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secret.
There's not going to be anything to find.
Well, the secret
Yeah.
is if you want to give people money, just drop a couple dollars or some change underneath a thing.
Yeah, there you go.
underneath
Yeah.
Just for me, guys. Just for
Yep.
me.
Give a kilo, take a kilo. Wait, what? What is it again? Yeah.
Pound. Those are pounds.
Pounds, kilos.
Pounds, yeah.
So
Yeah,
confused.
pounds and kilos. I do kilos because in Australia I do kilos, meters,
Mhm.
kilometers. Actually,
What do they do there?
do.
What do they do in the UK? Don't they do that?
They do miles, but they do kilograms. Yeah.
I thought they
I
did
was like, wow.
kilometers. They don't do
No,
kilometers?
they don't. But they drive on the same side as Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, I
Wow.
thought it was weird too. And yeah, I don't know. Well, at least it is in London. I haven't been anywhere else but London. So, yeah. Yeah. Fun fact. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get out of here. We really appreciate you being on. I stick around after. Don't hang up. I'm starting to mention that to people now
Bye.
because
Goodbye.
we finish the show and they just hang up and it's like no, we're just hanging up on the audience. We're not hanging up on you.
Yeah.
So we can chat afterwards as well. Herrerasaurus.work is your website, but you also are on all the social things, right? Like
Yeah.
Twitter and Instagram and what's your name
Yeah,
on
I
there?
have Herrerasaurus on Instagram and Herrerasaurus, but with Herrera-Saurus for Twitter
Okay.
because I couldn't get Herrerasaurus. It's already taken.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, I have an old website, jessherrerasaurus.com, but don't look at that one, that's my old website, but I'm trying to get that
Don't
one
go
to
there.
link to my new website. But I know a lot of people have that old website, so like I gave out a lot of business cards and stuff, and people will be like, oh, why, this must be another Jess or something.
Oh,
But
okay.
no, that's still me. Still me.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review. You can subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. Helps get our ratings up. You can subscribe to our newsletter, which goes out every month now. Gives you all the details on events that are coming up and streams that are coming up and past streams and articles and fun things related to Mograph.com. Make sure you get on that list. You can find out when that new Houdini course is dropping. I can't wait. I can't wait. So excited. It's so good. And you can say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb Feel the Bab 2020 shirt, all the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. And then you got the Render Things t-shirt, hoodie, long sleeve tee, and the That Render is Fire shirt, which you are only allowed to wear ironically. And that's it. We're on Facebook,
Yay.
Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, YouTube, and of course, Mograph.com. Make sure that you subscribe to us and make sure if you are subscribed to our old channel that you subscribe to the new channel because the other one will not have any streams or anything anymore after the first of the year. So,
Yep.
yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. Till next time, I'm Dave.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jess.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
Bye.
All right.
Looking at your
Stand by.
JessHerrerasaurus.com.
Still live. I'll power down the things in just a minute. You can stop your recording in the meantime.
Please. Woo. That's a big file.
Oh, yeah.